and give me my normal thing. I think it did. Oh, look at that. I should probably mute my Twitch. It is muted. Alright. Are we streaming? We are! Ha! I really wish I had a more responsive thing than this. But in any case, hello everyone, this is Chris Ingerson. It is October 6th, and this is the October 6th Text Quest dev stream. We're going to be doing a quick update on a couple of things, then we'll get back to working on our custom content. C3, because I want to sound pretentious, and it's also far easier for me to say C3 than it is for me to say custom content creation. For some reason, that's a tongue twister for me. In any case, so yeah, we'll be doing updates on a couple of other things that I've done on the side while, in my what little free time I have between work and all of the other grad school stuff I have to do. And then we'll continue expanding on our custom. Got to start doing it. C3 tool. All right. So first off, let me send out a quick tweet saying that I'm here and live and we're streaming. Okay. And now, so the actual tool has not changed much since last week. I have started work on importing meshes. What's this null reference exception for? Unity 5. The newest Unity 5 is a little annoying because it turns off your cursor if you turn off the cursor in the game, it will not turn back on until you click outside of the game window, which makes it very hard to try and click on things while the game is playing. I don't know what this null reference is. It's probably something that I've just... Oh, yeah. No, that's fine. That's okay. That was something else. But yeah. Oops. Go back to playing. So, I have added a mesh button so you can navigate and try to find a mesh. You can select an OBJ. Another thing I've done is the mesh stuff does not work right now. If I hit update material, it'll go through and it'll try to it'll read the file. And right now it's only going to do OBJs, but it is not I haven't quite figured out the proper way to load OBJs in. I just got something from the Unity wiki that I want to test out. Well, I've tested it already as is, but it loads OBJs with vertices that are backwards for some reason. So, not great. Because basically what it's got to do is it's got to take... so if I open this OBJ app, it's got to parse this text into understandable 3D code. Well, not 3D code, just 3D information. So we have vertices, UVs, and normals for this model, which I think is just a door. So it's just a rectangle, basically. But I haven't quite figured out how to associate vertices with faces and all of that. And faces are down here. So I'm taking a crack at that right now, trying to get everything to work properly. So we're not going to do that tonight, just because that's probably going to be something that's going to take me a lot of time, probably a couple of nights to actually get it working properly. But the other thing that I can show off is I've added specific file extensions when looking for things. So if you want to load a texture, you'll notice that if I close this, so this is our mesh. It only shows FBX and OBJ. Probably won't have FBX support for a while because I don't know how to do that. But this is the same directory, but it's only showing those FBX and OBJ files as well as actual directories themselves. And then if I look for a texture, I only look for PNGs, Targas, JPEGs, a couple of other ones that I can't think of off the top of my head for some reason. TIFFs. I just look for common image file extensions, and if a file does not have that file extension, then it just won't show up. And changes a little. Same thing with normals and height maps because they're just images. I've also tried to add a couple of more descriptive indicators of what a default value would be. So texture is just white, normal is a blank normal map, height is just a 50% gray image. And not like those will be used, but that's just what I wanted to have, something that showcases what a default might look like. And I've added save and load buttons, but I have not gotten the save and load functionality yet. I'm kind of holding off on that until I can get the mesh stuff importing properly. Because ultimately it's just going to export this massive JSON file, which I can show you what our... This is a variant of the file explorer that's going to allow people to save stuff out. I don't have it working yet. I just started it before the stream. We're probably not going to work on it tonight because it's a little boring. Probably won't do the save stuff on the stream just because the saving out to JSON it's not hard, it's not complicated, it's just probably not that exciting to watch. So I'll just do that on the side. But ultimately we'll be able to let people navigate to their directory that they want to and then enter a file name. Save it out as .json. And then later on they'll be able to just open this up, I don't have to play the game. They'll be able to just load the file itself and then it'll automatically populate everything, make all the materials, and do everything for us. So that'll be fun, but that's probably a little bit of ways away. Like I said, I don't want to do that until I can at least get the mesh stuff working properly. So for tonight, that was up there. Oh, and I've also added this object name thing. I don't know what I'm going to use it for. I'm sure I'll use it for something, but for now it's just a string thing that you can enter an object's name. So quick updates on things that I have been working on in other areas. I don't know if I've talked about this on the stream yet. So one of the very first things that I thought of when I started working on TextQuest 2 years ago was a boss that I wanted to have the player, I guess not fight, I don't know what the correct term would be, try to defeat. And that boss, it was a giant flaming moth. Why a giant flaming moth? Because I thought a giant flaming moth would be cool. And also, let me see if I can find it real quick. I saw this GIF a long time ago. And let me see if I can just load the GIF. Here we go. Just this angry moth noises GIF. Saw that a long time ago, and ever since I saw it, I was just like, that right there, that's what I want to be a boss. An angry moth, basically. So, yeah, that's what that is. And then, let me actually show you what I have. So, this is Underground Kingdom, not caves, Magma River. Started work on the Magma River, mostly as a sort of placeholder thing. So let me just turn on the hero I have here. It's not, this is just a placeholder area. Oh, I'm going to have to bake the lighting. Hooray! So this is going to take a second. Oh, it's much faster than I thought it would be. And I do like the lava material, actually. This is another substance that I made with a custom emission. This is the first substance I've made with emission. So it's an emissive material, and it only emits in the actual lava areas, because the cooler parts of lava, when I was doing research on them, lava is not all bright red and yellow and orange. It's actually more like bright yellow with a lot of black on top of it, because it's the lava cooling as it goes. There's a lot of red too, of course, but that's why this sort of looks the way it does. I actually like it a little bit. Might need a little bit of work. I think I want to add some cracks and see if we get close enough. You can see that these sort of have cracks on them, but I think what I might end up doing is making those cracks actually show the yellow background to make it a little more interesting and visually appealing than just like a bunch of black spots on a yellow background, basically. But in any case, let's show you the flaming moth. Yeah, and I am just walking on lava for now. Freaking gotta figure out. There she is! Just a moth with wings and antennae. Antennae? I think it's antennae. And of course, fire particle effects coming off of it. I might end up changing those to flame instead of fire, because I call this the flame moth. But I still got to do I still have to do a lot of animation on it. This is actually, I guess, this was the first sort of 3D enemy that I've made, because the spider is just a sprite that has animation on it. It's a sprite animation, or a sprite sheet. But this is actually a 3D model that has what is it, Control Shift P. Yeah, okay. So I can show you it. This is actually a 3D model, and of course it didn't select the object. It just that has animation attached to it. So as it plays, we can see the wings flapping and all that stuff. Still looks like okay. I still have a couple of tweaks to make to the animation. It feels a little rigid still. But for the time being, I'm actually pretty happy with it. And one of the things that I want to do is, probably the first time you ever see this is when you first enter the magma river. It'll fly across in the background really far away. That would be my cat wanting attention. But one of the things that I really want to do, and I was inspired by a really old, well, I guess not old game, but an N64 game called Pokemon Stadium. Let me pull up the video here. Although I think Pokemon Coliseum also has this. The Pokemon Ho-Oh, YouTube. The Pokemon Ho-Oh has this really interesting animation whenever it gets sent out to the field, where it looks like it's sort of stretching its wings. It's not actually flapping, it's just sort of hovering there while its wings twitch. So let me... Pokemon Stadium 2... Oh, not 3. Opening. Well, I guess while we're on the subject and while I'm looking for it, they should make another Pokemon Stadium game. And let's fast forward. So that quick Ho-Oh animation, ever since I was a kid, I've always liked that for some reason. So I wanted to do that sort of pose with the flame moth. I haven't done that yet, but that's something I'm definitely going to do. So when you actually go in to fight the flame moth in its sort of boss battle, it's going to swoop down and do that really awesome stretching and scream at you. Which incidentally, it's going to be super fun to make the moth sound effect, because there are moths that scream, I guess would be the closest thing you could say to it. I think that's actually what they're called. It's either screaming or screeching. But very interesting, very odd doing research on moths. Very, very frustrating to try and find reference material for the way they move, actually. This flapping animation is not accurate to how moths actually move. It's closer to a butterfly, I guess. But, you know, kind of like the coconut effect, as long as people understand what it's supposed to be. So yeah, that was, probably way more time than needed to be spent on the flame moth. But hey, I've wanted to get that in there forever, and I like it. The flame moth also, tongue twister. The flame moth also emits light as it moves around. The material on it is an emissive material. Oh, is it not? Oh wait, no, it is. Yeah. It is, although I don't think it actually does anything because it's not static. I think only static objects do emissive materials, which is a shame. I wanted the flame moth to light up the environment as it flew past it. But, I don't know. That's something I'll have to mess around with, see what I can get. For the time being, I like it. I like the texture. I think it works well. Turned out way better than I was expecting the worst when I imported it. I thought it would look kind of like garbage, but I think it looks good. Else. I did something else. Oh, right, the wizard. So I've talked a little bit about how I'm refactoring the intro to make it a little more interesting for the player. I'm doing that by adding a wizard character, not a wizard UI thing. So I play, and of course I'm still slowly working on this. It's taking forever to make this level. I guess before we get over there to that magical swirling vortex, show you, so much interesting detail. It's the pillars. The pillars are the thing I don't think this has a light map. Oh no, it doesn't. Well, that's kind of junk. Well, then you won't be able to see the effects. Oh well, whatever, it's fine. I've textured the pillars. Still haven't textured the fresco. I'm trying to do that right now. I'm trying to decide what the best thing to do with that is. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to have one big fresco there, not some super advanced thing. But yeah, so we got pillars in here now. They have their own material, which was surprisingly annoying to set up. There's still some bugs. You can see this very fine gray line here. That's the aniscopic filtering. Great. Got to turn that on for these materials. I probably don't have it. But you can see this sort of faint gray line there. I need to fine tune the texture or the UVs for this so that it's a little more perfectly grayed in. But for now, that's they're in there. That was the important thing. Is I just want to get them in there. I can continue working on this. And before we look at that, I do have I don't think I had this the last time I showed it. I do have the base in here, so we got the carpet and all that stuff. Don't have the throne yet or the king, but I guess we could go. No, I'm kidding. We don't have anything in there yet. Well, not again, anyway. So this is our wizard. This is going to be our main antagonist. And I sort of put this together to do a test shot. Oh, you know what? I should probably have been doing this stuff on Maximize on Play, but I'm a terrible, terrible video host. I just forget this stuff. So this will be the main antagonist for the game, this wizard. And he's going to show up several times throughout the game, often to basically, I'm trying to think of another game that's done this. I know that games have done this before. Basically, he'll show up whenever you think that a path will be easy to go through. He'll show up and do some wizard thing to make it more difficult. So you show up to a bridge, he'll show up on the other side and break the bridge, or make a monster appear or something. So he's going to be the main antagonist. He's the guy that you'll be pursuing. But pretty simple design. I like the wizard, and I liked the beard. I was debating not giving him a beard, but I kind of like how it turned out. Although from behind it clips in, I gotta change that. This is the one thing that I really don't like about Unity sprites is ordering is just nightmarish on these things. Because sprites don't use Z buffering, they use a sort of built-in sprite layering system. So yeah, but in any case, that's what it looks like. And then this magical swirling vortex is just something I wanted to mess with. Sort of an effect that the wizard could have show up whenever he does something. I like it. Pretty nice. And I think that's everything that I've done so far here, because a lot of this is old hat for now. Yeah, slowly getting this part done. It's just taking me an eternity. But it is getting done slowly. Now I cannot tell where my cursor is because of reasons. There we go. And I think that's everything. Oh yeah, caves material for the this will be the caves substance for a lot of the underground areas. It's actually one of the ones. It's the first one I've done that has a lot of custom colors, so I can actually change. Here, let me go to Kingdom, Magma River. So the Magma River, the caves are using this substance, and of course these are just quads that are default quads in Unity that I threw together to test this. But the actual material, it doesn't have a bitmap for its color. It's actually being generated by masks and the substance itself, which is probably pretty intensive. But for the time being, it works pretty well. So if I wanted to change this base color to be more of a yellow, like that, I could do so. It'll recalculate, although it won't show that much. So I'll probably just let me do something intense. Here we go. We'll take one of the lighter colors. We'll just make it like red, like really red. So you can see that it actually affects the material dynamically, which I think is pretty cool. I'm not sure how much I'm going to expose these parameters, honestly. Just because I don't know how. Ultimately, I would expose these parameters if I wanted to let people edit the textures in the game itself, but I'm not too sure if I'm going to just let people edit the textures I've already put in there, if I just want people to make their own, if they want to make custom content. That's something I'm just experimenting with. I'm not sure yet. Um, but I figured this would be easier anyway, just because I have multiple cave textures that I have to use, and I figured having one that I could just swap the colors on dynamically would be easier than trying to have 17 different bitmaps for it. So super fun. Um, so yeah, let's see. I think that's everything that I've done since last week. So now we can get back to working on the custom content stuff. Dust and texture loading. Okay, let's make sure that this is all working properly. Oh, and I should turn off my UI. Turn this off. All right. So now, once it loads, of course I'm going to make sure that everything still works, because you never know. So text wall. All right, I need to get the image loading in the icon here. So we can change the normal. Let's get to stone wall normal, stone wall height. Update our material. There's our stone block. Update our height. Oh, we might also try to get the dragging to not work if we're over here in the editor, just because that's kind of annoying to mess around with. Smooth still works, and metallic still works. Hooray! Everything still works. Except, actually, does our normal still work? Oh, right, because the normal is pretty plain, isn't it? It's just... Yeah, that's just our normal. Okay. I thought that it had more detail than that, and thought it had bumpiness. Probably should do that just so that I can make sure that it actually is doing something. But it seems like it's fine for now. Okay. So I think what we're going to try today is we're going to try adding an emissive field so that people can pull in emissive maps if they want. So let's go ahead and go over to options. And this thing is just getting really big. I think I looked at the lines of code for it. It's like 300 lines long now. Texture edit view. Yeah, it's 327 lines long. I generally don't like making things that long, but the other option would be breaking the functionality up between the view itself and like a back-end logic thing, but I hate doing that sort of break in functionality. It just adds to complexity. So let's go ahead and let's see, metallic, smooth height path. Here we go. Oh, it's compiling code. Why is it compiling code? That's weird. Okay, fine. Let's do height path. Move this up to here, and let's get rid of this. And I'm gonna call this. Oops, no space. Emissive. All right. Call it the emissive toggle. Alright, we also need to get that working. Emissive select. Alright. And this is going to be... this is going to be fun. So, for this, I don't just want the button itself. Let's go ahead and do... crap. I think it's just called solid. I don't just want the emissive map itself, I also want a color. Right, color. So this will be fun, making a color editor. I've done this before, but I did it a long time ago, so we can probably do it tonight. Probably won't be too bad. So let's duplicate this, and we'll call this emissive color button. And we will say its position is... Oh dear. Not sure what would be best here. Do this. It's not great though. Change its pivot to be 1. Change its width to be 80. And let's change its position to be -25. This is really nasty and not very obvious. I don't like that. 1, because my OCD will not let me have the 4.9 to the -e. I'm sad now. I had one extra viewer, but I was too boring. Oh, what language? And I completely did not notice him. Well, Charity Gamer 99, even though you're gone. Um, I am programming this in C Sharp. So, I'm sorry I didn't respond in time. I gotta do better at looking over there. I'm just so used to not having people that I just completely forget that I even have it. I need to have a more like notification thing that shows up over here. Um, close Notepad because I don't need to show you the FBX or the OBJ file anymore. So we have our emissive. Let's change our label so that it says emissive. All right. And that's probably fine. All right. So now let's go ahead and go into Photoshop. Don't know why I was looking through there. Photoshop. We're just going to make a quick emissive material or emissive texture. Probably just do a checkerboard. It's open. So we'll do 256 by 256, I guess. That's probably fine. I mean, this is just a placeholder, so it doesn't really matter. Delete this. Oh, you know what? I think I have a open recent. Placeholder maps. We'll just do it here then. Super tiny, but it's fine. Emissive. Oh, look at that. I already have the emissive and I just haven't done it yet. Okay. So, do that. And then on the base, we're going to go ahead and make this black. We're just going to do a checkerboard pattern. Or actually, no, we're going to do there. Export this PNG. Placeholder map emissive. All right. Go back here. Let's open this up. Over to text request, art, textures. Oh dear, what did I, UI maybe? Nope, okay, I don't remember where I saved this out as. Command Shift S. Art, textures, custom content, okay. Here. Let's see. Art, textures, custom content, oh, right, okay. And right. Okay, so now pull this in, emissive. Okay, so that's fine. And let's change height select. Oh, that's the height. I want the emissive. Man, does not like that. Let's change you to point. Apply. There we go. Although actually no, no, we didn't want that. Mwah. Mwah. That was me being stupid. That's the toggle. Emissive select. Oh, I can also move that and make that a image, not a raw image, and make that solid. Oh, yeah, I did nothing there. All right. So now, let's go to custom content and just drag this placeholder map into here. Not that big, but eh. Okay, so we got that all set up, I think. So now if we were to do emissive, before we can do that, I do need to do materials. Here we go. No, I can't do that. Placeholder texture. It shouldn't be placeholder actually. That was why I thought it was so weird. I'm like, no, this isn't a placeholder map, is it? I can delete that. So I lied. I should just do that. Change it back so that it doesn't get confused later on. Photoshop. Okay. So let me test emissive. If I could spell emissive, I don't think I can. There. Do a base. Then a emit. Alright. Emit will be do 64. So it'll be a little more refined. This. Eight. I'm being way too. Oh, come on. One more. Okay. I was way too detailed on that. Okay. Save that out. This is a PNG. Just say test emit. Test emissive. Let's go back here. Go to custom content. Go to custom. Delete this. And move this over here. Nope, don't care. Alright. So now we should be fine. Okay. So let's pull up our code again. Oh, hooray, I have another viewer again. If you're Charity Gamer 99 and you came back, I'm programming in C#. If you're new, that's a whole other thing, I guess. Alright, so we got parallax, metallic. Let me look this up real quick. We got to find the emissive material keyword. Got to enable the emissive stuff. Let's see, shader keywords. Really? Oh, I should have remembered where to get this. And we're back down. Back down to 1. I guess I could start singing 1 is the loneliest number, which I'm pretty sure isn't the name of that song, but hey. Material. Okay. Bump map. Surface shader. No. Nah. Let's see. Shader reference. Hate doing this. Hate having basically what's it called, dead air when nothing's happening because I can't find what I'm looking for. Hold on. Unity material properties. So it's shader keywords, but I don't know. Switch to manual. I think this is maybe what I want. Maybe, maybe not. Oy. Unity shader keywords. If I can't figure this out, we might end up moving to something else. Going crazy here because, good God, Unity has buried this page apparently. Gotta find this. Man, that's annoying. Fine. Screw it. I think we have shaders, don't we, in here? Yeah. Okay, that's not the one I wanted. Well fired. Oh, good. None of the custom ones. Okay, fine. We're just gonna do this. Unity built-in shaders. We're just gonna download it and look at it directly because I'm tired of just trying to find it. Built-in shaders. All right, let me pull that up. Downloads. Oh, look at that! I already had it basically. Editor. Default. What is it? It's standard.shader. Okay. Metallic, bump scale, parallax, parallax occlusion, emission map, and emission color. Okay. So those are the two things that we need. So we want, really, every single time. Private const string emissive prop equals that, and private const string emissive map prop equals that. All right. So what do we got? We have emission color and emission map. Emission or emissive? Okay, it was emission. Good. All right. Underscore. So we got our thing back. So these two properties should allow us to actually manipulate emissive stuff on materials. So now, of course, I'm going to have to add a private string emissive path. Not path. That. And then private string emissive path. I'm not sure why I have these get statements here. I think I might end up changing these. But for now, I'll just keep them. Emissive path, because all they're doing is just returning those emissive paths. Or those paths. So, wait, man. I might have to come up with a better way to do this. It's kind of driving me crazy having to always add these individual on such and such pressed. So, actually, before we do that, and I wonder if that's going to change. Compiling. Come on. Custom. Oh, good. It's probably just replacing the standard shader. I mean, that's fine. The standard shader is it's the same code, so. Okay. So here, select this, turn this off, and then apply these changes. Anything? Nope, I did not. So I can apply. All right. Keep like getting one person watching and then they leave, so I'm just terrible at this. It sucks. A lot of what I do is not very visually interesting until the end. But at least that time he didn't say something and I just didn't respond. So that's all there. So now we're going to go ahead and like this. Components. Let's go ahead and add a material attribute. What do I want to call it? No, material property. Section. So this is basically just going to be a wrapper that wraps all of the let's go ahead and do namespace text quest. This is going to be a wrapper for of course I turned them off, each one of these sections. So this will be what allows us to actually check off, you know, do we want normal, do we want height, do we want emissive, and it'll be able to actually gray them out if the checkbox is not checked. So we pull up our code again. We can do, first off, public string. Should I make it an enum? String might be easier. Enum would be more consistent, though. And also, that's not going to. Ugh, crap. Well, no. That'll be fine. So public string property ID equals nothing. You know what? No, I'm gonna do public enum at properties. Okay. So we can do, well, basically that'll let us take this out of here. I want that then, because it's going to be tough to actually reference this stuff. No. It'll be fine actually, because I'm basically generalizing a lot of this stuff. So instead of having texture edit view keep track of all of these separate buttons, we're just going to let the property section take care of it for us. So yeah, I guess that's fine. Yeah, okay. So, out of curiosity, let me see if I can. Be nice if I could. Of course I can't. Okay. So, I'll just add the ones that I have right now, and I'll add the other ones later. Or I can just do them right now. So, oof, man. Working with like a slightly smaller window is kind of awkward. Alright. So, we want color equals 0. Well, we'll do 10. Basically, going to want to do. Oh, why are you complaining? Okay. Has it been so long that I've forgotten how to do enums? That doesn't seem right. It seems like I'm getting squiggles from nothing. I mean, this should be like that, I guess, but... Well, just to check. Because who knows? It's been a long time since I've done enums. Here we go, preposition type. Yeah, I'm not crazy. It's just being dumb. Oh, because it's not strings. Ah, why am I so stupid? Um, right. No, that's... Yeah. Okay. Main text. Okay. So we can copy this. Just paste it a bunch of times. Alright. Cut off. Glossiness. Metallic. Metallic gloss map. I feel like that ass who reads billboards as you go by them. Bump scale. And then I continue to do it. But I guess it's because I don't want to have dead air. So, how are you all doing? You know, like 3 people who tuned in, then immediately tuned out because I'm terrible at this. Parallax. Any good games out there? Mad Max, I guess, is the other big one that I haven't played. I lost my place. Parallax map, not Parallax. Like I said, I finished Metal Gear Solid 5, so I'm free of that for now. Still want to play it occasionally, but now that I'm done with it, I can't really justify going back to it. Occlusion map. Because, you know, very frustrating school stuff. Oh no, occlusion map and occlusion strength. Right. Let's see here. Mission color. Mission map. I might just get through what I have right here and then I'll probably stop. Detail mask. Detail albedo map. And then I don't even know what the freak this is doing. Albedo map scale, I guess. Oh, it's normal map scale. I was like, albedo map scale. That's really weird. Alright, I might as well do the detail normal map too. Okay, I think that's everything that I'm using. Yeah, everything else in that shader is not something that I'm touching. So let's go ahead and tab these out. I like having my enums all on the same numerical line, or on the same line in indentation. Except, apparently I can't do that. There we go. Also means that, I mean, I gotta change all these variables, or these values. Go one too much. I don't think there's any good movies to talk about while I do this tedious work. Nothing too... Ah, dang it! Gotta indent everything one more. I don't know why it does indents, but then it does spaces. Why? There, jeez. I could also click and it'd probably be faster. You have to be like right on it or else it won't work. Okay, jeez. Way too annoying. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. Alright, I could probably make that derived from byte, but meh, it's fine. Okay, so all that work, and now I can just change this to map property. Map properties.none. Okay, so basically we'll be able to have this drop down that will let us select what property we specifically want to affect. And that'll be nice because in the texture edit view, let me save this and then reopen it because it's showing the whole path. So I can go back to maximum, close this, let it compile. So instead of having this massive, all these fields basically, I can just have a list of these sections. It'll just be one list. So that'll compress my UI nicely. And then I'll just say for each one of them, if it's active, do this, and then just get its property and what its value should be. Don't have to worry about it. It's really nice. Close preposition type. No compiler errors. Nice. Okay, so let's go to mesh path. Mesh path will be a little different though, because of course it will. Lost my thing. Material select. No. Material property. All right. So nice. I got all this stuff. It should be fine. That is one thing that I forgot about enums is that they don't render the first. What the heck? Oh right, I closed it so that I could reopen it. They don't render the first underscore for this thing. They just basically get rid of it. Okay, so we get that, and then oh man. Okay. I'd have to think this system through a little bit better. Because the problem with stuff like this works for most cases, but with stuff like emissive, it's not just a map; it's also a color. And metallic, well, no, metallic is just a numerical value, which, great. Okay. So I basically want to have probably a base class and then derive that to be a class that returns a numeric value and a class that returns texture string, or a string to the path of the texture. Okay, so maybe instead of that, I still like this idea of having a generic thing. I just not sure what the value is going to return as, because I could always return strings. It just means I'll have to parse them out later. Not the end of the world. Just more of an annoyance. Okay. Well, I guess I can at least do engine.ui. I can at least get the enabling and disabling stuff working. And then I'll have to figure out what I want to do with everything else. So this will be public toggle status toggle. Pretty terrible name. Public. No, button's not necessarily going to be. It's not necessarily going to have a button. Crap. Let's does not work very well, having a generic class with so many different components that it could be. Hmm. So, if it's just the base class, this might just be all I need, honestly. Because everything else is going to be a little... Eh. Basically going to extend this. So, this... We have public virtual void enable property, not properties. Public virtual void disable property. Okay. Then public graphic. So I can basically either have, try to take off my glasses while I was wearing a headset. I can basically have a array of graphics, so like that, and turn each graphic a specific color when it's disabled. But oh, 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 that's even better. Okay. Um, so I was trying to think of a way to basically have these things return their value, but there's no reason to do that because I can just tell the view itself to send out an update event that says, "Hey, for each of my property sections, update the material to be your value." Um, oh yeah, that's nice. Okay. So I can have a public, I guess, virtual void initialize material target map. Okay. And then this will have a protected material target material. Target material equals target mat. Did I say tartec? Yep, I did. There we go. Okay. And basically, okay, so let's get the texture. Oh wait, no, wrong thing. Texture edit view. So let's go ahead and say target material disable keyword and target material enable keyword. Okay. So these two things will be in there. And then we will have public virtual void update property. Maybe I should make that abstract actually, because this is an abstract class. Okay. So update property. Make this abstract because this one's not really going to do anything. Okay. Okay. I think that's everything I need. Although I will, right. So with the disabling, I want to visually display that it's been disabled. And the easiest way I can think of would be to have a public image, disabled image, or a disabled mask. And basically, on enable property, we would say disable mask dot set act. Dot game object dot set active false, and then we would enable it on disable. Okay. So now let's let that compile. No errors, I would hope. Name texture path references runtime script in the scene file? Huh? Oh, right. Remove that. Okay. Don't need that. That was me being stupid. Okay. Let me add a folder material properties. These components. Let's add C# script. Call it material slider section. I'm curious, real quick. Hopefully nothing's busted if I play. Just do stonewall, update material. Now if I change the height map, does anything change? No, it seems fine. Okay. Good to know. I just wanted to make sure that that was the case. I wasn't doing something weird. Yes, sure, reload all, because you always require. Ah. Water. Ah. Throat just dried up out of nowhere. Alright. Let's do this. Get rid of this. Namespace text quest. And get rid of this. Alright, so this is going to extend from material properties section. And we are also going to have using Unity Engine.ui. Where are you? Ah, right. So then public slider, public override. Oh no, I guess it's just void. No. Well, hold on. Public override. Was it update property? There we go. Okay. And so for this, we're going to say target material dot set float proper TID slider dot value. Dot toString. Oh, I almost forgot. Actually, before I do that, I should say here public bool uh, property enabled. We're just going to get return status toggle dot enabled, I think. Yep. If property enabled. All right. Nice. And slider, that's basically all that should be doing, because I think if we go down here to on metallic value, we're just saying target.show set float value. Yep, that's all we're doing. Nice. um, and we can just say private void on value changed and two here. Private void awake slider dot on value changed dot add listener on value changed, and I gotta change that so that it takes a float. And just say update property. Okay. So now, go back to texture edit view. Have public list material property section. Properties equals new list material property section. Alright. And then when we hit update, instead of this stuff, we'll say material property section MPS in properties MPS.update property. Turn this back on. We're going to do this with, no, once it compiles. Okay. Add the label. Oh. Alright, not everything's going to have a toggle. Great. Of course, my lack of forethought did that. Oh, but I don't do anything with a toggle anyway. So, that's fine. We can test it like this. Let's hit the slider. Do that. And I guess we'll make a UI image. Have it stretch over the whole thing. Change its sprite to be solid. Okay. And then change this to be, I don't know, 50. Make it darker gray than 150. Let's go ahead and I don't want to duplicate code here, but it's fine for now, I suppose. So properties, we're going to have one for now. It's just going to be this metallic. I did set the property right. Nope. I need to set this to metallic. And just to double check, make sure that that's correct. Scroll all the way up here. I assume it is metallic. Good. Go back here. Yes, UI. I know, Canvas is sometimes dumb. So this should be fine. Now, if... Oh, no, I almost forgot. Initialize target. Target equals yada yada. Material. Generate material buttons. I have a current material. No. I guess that's fine. I can just do for each material property section, MPS in properties, MPS.initialize target material. Although I think it should be shared material now that I think about it, but yeah, it's fine. So I really hope this works. And just to make sure that there's no problems here, let's go ahead and comment out smooth and height slider stuff. So that way we know that if the metallic value changes, it's because our metallic is telling it to. Oh, right. Turn this off, apply, close this, hit save, and play. Any null references will be interesting. No null references. Ah, dang it. There's a null reference, though. Why can't I click? There we go. Good to know. Oh, right. Dang it. Do this. For now, that will work. It's the property thing. I forgot to check that. So now we'll be able to see if it works. Let's try playing. Metallic. Yes! Aha! It works! So that's nice. So that's going to be fun, replacing all of this with that approach. Kind of sucks, but at the same time, you know, it's just better. It'll really simplify things. We won't have to worry about keeping track of all this. We'll just have a generic list, and each one will update the material itself. That'll be nice. Yeah, the only thing I think I'll end up having to do is, at the end, once all the editing's done, I need to go through and check what material properties are enabled, and then assign a material based on that. Because right now, the default will be that you just have a material that has... Oh, Control P. The default will be that you have this material that has basically everything enabled. And right now, it only has a couple of things. Because of that issue that we ran into when we first started doing this, where if you don't have these things enabled at start, at runtime, you won't be able to update them. They have to be enabled and to be included in the build. So we will have multiple materials, each one with certain things enabled or disabled, which will be super fun. And basically we will swap out materials for the appropriate material at the end once everything's been set. But I'm not going to do that tonight, obviously, because it's already 9:15. But I will probably continue to work on this, but it's going to be boring, I think, to watch me do so. So, Yeah, we made pretty good progress actually today. Got to show off the fancy flame moth, which again I was super happy about, but no one was here for that, and then they left because I was doing boring stuff. Oh well, it happens. So yeah, I'm gonna continue working on this tonight. Hopefully get basically all of the properties into a method or a class sort of like this. Just some nice short scripts to make everything work properly. Um, then uh, I wonder if I wanna. No, it's fine. And of course, I need to make sure that if say well, metallic and smooth will always be there, but stuff like the height value that should be disabled if the height map is checked off or is not enabled. So that's something I'm going to look into, see what I can do there. Emissive is going to have both a path to an image and a color, so that will be interesting as well. I probably should do that for the texture too. Okay, so that's fine. It'll be somewhat standardized then. Um, so, yeah. Um, so I think that'll be it for tonight, just because I'm going to have to sort of think through this design a bit to make it more interesting. And by next week, I will hopefully have all of this stuff in there, and hopefully I'll have mesh importing working properly. That way we can basically just save everything out to JSON and then load those files in. And then we'll move on to something else for custom content creation. Not sure what will be next, but making pretty good progress on this. A little slow, which again I always want to apologize for how slow I've been. It's not particularly easy to get a lot of work done between a job, graduate school, and sort of a smaller second job for graduate school. Um, so hopefully my progress will pick up as time goes on, and I'll get a little more into the swing of it, trying to juggle all this stuff. But for now, thank you for watching, and thank you for the few people that did tune in and then immediately left. I had you temporarily, and that's a step up from nothing. um, so yeah, I will see you all next week, and thank you again